ready when you are, Stevie, because you had to have a stuntman in case anything went wrong, named Vic Armstrong, and we wanted to see how the rig worked. So Vic gets into his Superman outfit, which is exactly the same as Christopher Reeve, for whom he was standing in, and not a good. So we do a test, and we get Vic up on the rig in his, Cape Crusader outfit, shoot various angles on him, send it off to the lab, goes in overnight, we see it the next day, and we walk into the theatre at Primate Studios, theatre number 7, which has a huge screen, wonderful, wonderful theatre, and up comes the test, and all we can see is Vic Armstrong's face, the Superman badge, his red belt and his red boots. But guess what? His uniform was the same colour as the travelling matte blue. So it then took about, excuse me, another 2 weeks for the wardrobe department to be able to get his costume as near the colour of Superman's costume, but still sufficiently different from the background blue so that it wouldn't merge with the background blue. We lived in what was then a small Thameside village called Shepperton, best known for its movie studio, and to the north of Shepperton is Queen Mary's Reservoir, which has the main drinking water supply for London, and across the river Thames from where we lived was Vickers Armstrong's with a big work. So Jerry every night was either trying to hit the reservoir and London's water supply, or the Vickers Armstrong factory across the river in Weybridge. So, as I say, I didn't find it particularly interesting. There's a sequence in Hope and Glory, Hope and Glory, where they're trying to go to the air raid shelter and they decide to go under the stairs. You only got an air raid shelter if you were below a certain wage. My father was a producer director and he was certainly not below a certain wage. So we didn't qualify for an air raid shelter, but we did have a grand piano, so we always got shoved under the grand piano. And all I can remember is my late brother, who I loved dearly, had terrible breath. What I remember most about the Blitz was my Hope and Glory is one of those typical movies where when the script was presented to them, John and I did the usual trek that you do, get on a plane, go to Los Angeles, take it around the studios, and everybody said no, not interested. So then we started trying to finance it on what's called a territorial basis, where you go, for argument's sake, to France, to somebody like Paul Rassin, who's a big distributor, and he gives you a guarantee, say $2 million, but you don't get the money then. The money is then made up for by a funding company, whose charges are, I think it's something like 5% of the below-the-line budget, that's their fee. And you get the $2 million that the French distributor promised you when the movie starts showing in France. So it was a laborious road. We'd already pre-sold France, we'd pre-sold Germany, and I think the next territory we were going to attack was Australia. When a certain Englishman named David Putnam became the head honcho at Columbia Pictures in LA, in Hollywood, and of course he saw this script, thought it was wonderful because it was also his boyhood. So we got picked up on what is called a negative pickup deal with Columbia Pictures, and we became a Columbia picture. Needless to say, every Hollywood studio turned down the picture when John and I were hawking it around Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard and Mariana Boulevard.